The year is 2023. All media and entertainment is controlled by the Cornahs. They keep asking for more and more and more. But there's one thing they forgot. The power has never belonged to the Cornahs. The power belongs to the people. Chunks and a hunk, and by doing so, you are taking a stand.
Hello and welcome to Two Chunks and a Hunk. My name is Jordan Wonders, and this week I'm your chunk.
I'm Doge, and it is better to be chunk self and have no friends than to be like your friends and have no chunk.
Dang, the depth. I'm Carter, and the duty of chunk is to challenge corruption.
Oh,
Dang.
Wow, that's good.
And I do believe we are challenging corruption today simply
Every
by
Existing from deep within the Mojave Desert, coming to you live from an undisclosed location.
Coming to you live. This is definitely live.
Hey,
it's definitely live.
I'm in the middle of cooking. Let me
Every
cook.
time you play this podcast, I have to stop what I'm doing to come and say this to you.
If you guys could
I'm trying to
pick
just
one
live my
time
life.
that you all listen.
Everybody just
That would
pick
be great.
one time to play the episode, and that would help
Come on,
me
guys.
a ton.
Every single time.
We're from an undisclosed location in the Mojave Desert, and we're safe. Don't worry, we're okay. We're
We're good.
What? That's all, folks. By making this podcast, the very minor, effective, but our hearts are in the right place. The stand that we're making is that we stand with the Writers Guild of America and SAG-AFTRA during their time of striking. We believe that they should get the things that they're asking for. They should be paid fairly, have access to health care, and not have their jobs be threatened to be taken away by AI. So, threatened to be take away, he says.
Threatened to
Don't
not
be
have a
take
job.
away.
Threatened to be take away by AI. So if you're new here,
Don't
we
take
used to
away.
be a movie podcast, and now we're a nothing podcast. But don't worry, it's going to be a
things.
good episode, probably.
It's
Nah,
more
there's stuff.
interesting than it sounds.
Yeah. We got stuff.
For instance, Carter.
It's me. Guys, can we start this episode again?
that.
Can we start over? No, can we?
Yeah.
I want to announce something. I really can't hold it in. When I say names like Jesse Iwuji,
Ooh.
Yes.
Melissa Joan Hart, Nick Reganis.
Ooh.
2 for 3.
What do you think these three have in common, though? What do they have in common to us?
2 of them were extremely powerful, and one hitched their wagon to our greatest idea.
Okay, so maybe it's more on the extremely powerful side. For me, personally, like momentous ticks on the timeline for Two Chunks and a Hunk.
Yes.
These were big
Yes.
things that happened that we really couldn't believe were happening. And I've got to say, what I have to announce today is somewhere close to that, if not right up there with all of the others.
Wow.
We have very recently, as we introduced SWTBOE, that's Sportsman with the Best of Them.
Yeah.
Some of our friends in the local DFW area caught word of that. And we were already kind of starting a relationship with this crew. But y'all, Two Chunks and a Hunk is now official partners with a sports ball team.
Wow, I
Like
love that
it's
for us.
legitimate.
What a natural
our
evolution
logo.
of our brand.
It's a massive thing, and we're super excited about this. It's going to be a bit of a change for us, but the Shadowcast is built for that. But I would like to officially announce that Two Chunks is partnering with Dallas's only professional rec league soccer team,
Wow.
Infinity FC.
Wow.
Yes.
Dallas Infinity FC. With this partnership,
I'm not sure who I'm happier for, them or us.
It's good for both of us. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
They're a great team. Honestly, I really can't believe that we were able to pull this off. And they have some pretty legitimate sponsors. And we were like, listen, we've got some monies, but we can't really give you monies for things maybe yet. But can we at least be a part of a conversation?
Our money's
and so for them to be able to do this for us
for the government
is massive. So stay tuned to that in terms of the relationship that we'll have there. There's even rumors of they're shooting a documentary and they might include us in some way.
Get out of here.
But 100% would ask that our chunkies give them a follow. They've been around for a good while in the Metroplex. They only just got a social media account because they've really started to see a lot of the heat that they're getting from just how freaking amazing they are. It's a lot of good stuff. It's pretty clean. Infinity FC DTX. There's a handful
craziest
of
thing
posers
is,
out there.
Oh no, you want to follow the real deal.
Yeah, follow the
I
real
think
deal.
The craziest thing is that, like, you know, Bend It Like Beckham and like Ted Lasso and stuff. Like, they made that. They made it a real game. They made it a real game.
Yeah.
It's like how there's Quidditch leagues now. It's like they're actually taking this thing from movies and TV and playing it like it's a real game, which is amazing. I love that dedication. That's so
I think
cool.
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think as an introduction to now officially being, I feel like I'm standing a little differently. I never have my hands behind my back. I don't even know if that's something that they do, but there's something like national anthems going before the game.
Yeah.
But I just want to do a few, spend some time with some introductory stuff, a little how-to, a little learning about the FC stands for Football Club. Now that is not American football. There was another football before that.
Why are there two?
And they don't play on a field, my friends. Do you know what they play on? You know what they call that?
Grass.
Try again.
Turf. Sod. Outside.
Nope.
They play outside.
Nope. Yes. It's called a pitch.
Baseball.
You're
Okay,
playing-
so
like a throw.
It seems like soccer's kind of a mix between American football and baseball from what I'm
Because they've got a
understanding.
pitch. They got a pitch
Honestly,
going.
they shouldn't have used the words that already. They should have, if they're going to make up a sport, make up
Let's
new
get
names for
words.
stuff.
Let's go
we
ahead and
need
get
some new
words.
stuff. Speaking of new stuff, I've got a little something that we can do with pitch.
Wow.
I want you to give me, there is recently, so the biggest of big news is there was some kind of announcement between Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. If you listen, we were trying to cast if that was going to be a movie, like who we would cast in this whole thing. If you haven't heard, basically like cage match fight at the Coliseum, it's all but guaranteed at this point, but there seems to be a little bit of hesitation because Elon Musk tends to be one of those that promises things that never truly come to fruition. So for today's
He's so cool. He's
we
such an
tried,
alpha, dude.
If I remember
today's
correctly, we tried to
pitch,
cast
right?
Satan for one of the two of them, but I believe
Yeah.
his contract had already been bought for the movie rights for Donald Trump's life. Oh!
Dang.
Zinged
That's a burn.
him, and that's a zing.
And that's how you get clicks.
And
3
that's
days
a
ago,
clicks, ladies and gentlemen.
3 days ago, there was a headline that said Elon Musk says he's going to show up at Mark Zuckerberg's house to fight.
Please.
Get out of here.
Isn't that a
Here's what I
crime?
need us to do.
Yeah, that's just a crime at that point.
You
That's
can't
not
do
actual
that. I don't
I
care
think the
how many
difference-
Teslas you have. You can't do that.
the
Does he
difference
knock?
between crime and sports is audience, I believe.
Yeah. Yes. That's very good. You need to write that one down. That's a good quote.
It's a tattoo. I
That's
have
good.
already.
That's
It
good.
is a tattoo. That's
Yeah,
the
I
next
think
one.
that's actually on Infinity FC's website.
It is. The only difference. Something I want to do is
crime
can we,
Like if you just ran up on the street and slide tackled somebody, you're going to jail. But
Yeah.
as long as there's a ball and people watching,
You're good. People are like, clean
There's just a
tackle.
ref
What
that's like,
clean
hey.
tackle on the pitch?
hey, don't do that.
She just got
we're
their
gonna move
red
from
debit
the-
card they wagging in your face.
We'll move from the soccer pitch to an elevator pitch. Imagine, if you will, you're jumping on an elevator with Elon Musk.
Sure.
And with the amount of time that you have here, you want to be able to tell him, convince him to actually do this fight. Zuckerberg is saying, and I can't tell if it's trash talk because I don't know how much trash talk these two have done in their lives, just by their demographic. I don't know how good they are at banter. But
I think all the talk Elon and Zuckerberg have ever done is probably
it is trash. It is full of trash, maybe.
Nice.
Okay. So Zuckerberg has said he's not even ready. Post a photo of him training with a couple of his jiu-jitsu guys. And he's got abs, man. Zuckerberg's doing some work. And a lot of people are thinking, like, if there was a betting going on, mainly to Zuckerberg. So he's saying Elon doesn't want to do this. So what if Elon actually is on the fence here about having this fight? You two are in an elevator with Elon. What's the pitch?
Oh, God.
Give me the pitch. How are we getting him to do this?
So I think basically I'm going to pull out my phone
Yeah.
and I'm just going to be like, whoa, did you guys hear that Elon Musk has a little pee-pee?
Yeah.
And then
I
I'd
think
be
that
like,
would work.
Like,
I'd be
so
like,
you're not even looking at it.
No.
Oh, sorry, man.
I didn't realize. I was just on Mark Zuckerberg's thread.
Oh, I didn't know that you were Elon Musk. I thought he was taller and stronger and more powerful with bigger muscles.
Yeah,
That's
I was
why
under
I
the
didn't think
impression
you
that
were
Elon
him.
Musk was a lot bigger and more intimidating. Sort of like Mark Zuckerberg is. And I just found out that, is it true that you have a little pee-pee?
I didn't know you were Elon because I thought Elon was going to be at home because Mark Zuckerberg said he was going to go to Elon's house and fight him there.
Are you afraid? That you're not afraid.
No, you can't be. Your company's so
Surely not.
strong and cool.
And then I would just I don't know,
modern Xerxes, man. You're right.
throw some Bitcoin on the ground or something and be like, oops. Pick that up.
Actually, I do not care for this gentleman. I probably, if I saw him on an elevator and the doors were closing, I would say the next one's for me. I'm not getting on there with
I'd
that
step
guy.
off that elevator.
Yeah.
But
Nah, you go ahead, man. You go ahead.
take
But
it.
you know, if Zuckerberg got on there, Elon's not coming out with his eyes open. I'll tell you that much.
Zucker
Not
would
with
be
his
like,
eyes open.
I got you for 3 minutes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you for that pitch. I do have another game, though.
please.
In this game, shout out to Vince Kelly. The Kellys, Vince and Mariah and Liam are good friends of the pod.
Beautiful people.
There's just some things that Vince and Liam have said that are just a part of canon just for my life. And one of them is, that's a corner. Whether you're watching football or not.
Yep.
That's a corner. So that's the name of this game. That's a corner. And what I have here is I'm going to have some questions. Do you remember the Google game that we were playing? That was just like do a random question. What are the question words called?
Do a random
Why? Do they
goog.
have a name?
A
Who, what, when, where, why? No, what are those called?
They're called something, are they not?
They are, yeah. I don't know.
We're going to have a question, right? The question will come up randomly, and I need y'all to pick the 3 best people to have in your corner to answer that question. That makes sense?
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's a corner.
That's a
Hey,
Cornah.
That's a corner. Give me a question. Give me a question word. Man, I wish I knew what that was called. Doge, give me a question word, please. Run over
Why?
to Google. Why? Jordan, give me a letter.
L.
Okay. I'm going to have you each. Do you want to do each or together? No, let's do this together. I like this
Yeah.
together. It doesn't necessarily
I like
have to be a
together.
competition.
I like together.
That's a corner. Build a corner
That's a
for me.
Cornah.
Best 3 people in the world, man. We're not even a movie podcast anymore. It
Sure.
can be anybody.
No.
To
What
answer
are
the
movies?
question,
We're a nothing podcast, so it could be nobody.
please help us. Please help Google answer the question: why life is so hard.
Oh.
Why life is so hard?
Why
life is
Google? Dear Google, why life is so hard?
Why life is so hard?
That's a Cornah.
Why life is so hard. Build that.
That was
corner.
Hugh Grant. That was a pretty good Hugh Grant on accident, I think. Wow, nice.
Hugh Grant as Porky Pig. Thank you.
That's a corner. So Hugh Grant's one of them. He's going to be able to answer
Sure.
why life is so hard.
Yeah.
Why life
We need
is
2
so
more.
hard?
I'm
Who's
happy
in
with
the
Hugh
corner?
Grant.
That's a corner.
I want people with experience. I want people who have been through it.
With life being hard, yeah.
Yeah, you need someone at the end. Anyone who sees this needs to be like, "Oh, that's a corner."
I think what I want is somebody that no
Yeah.
matter what you're going through, no matter what difficulties you face, they've been there, done that. So
Oh, come on.
I think Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Hugh Grant a part of our corner? Because do we only
Yeah.
have 1 slot left?
I think it's Hugh Grant and Pitbull.
Can I pitch to you?
Yeah.
Let me pitch somebody.
Ooh, pitch.
why life is so hard is the kind of thing that I would ask at the end of a day that really took it out of me.
Yeah.
Like something extremely...
Life was pretty hard for me trying to get
was-
this recording going. I'll tell you that.
Carter was having major technical difficulties.
I
I
was
found
asking
myself wondering why life's so hard.
Why life's so
And
hard?
I want, we need an expert because we have Hugh Grant who is going to provide some
You don't
service
have
to us.
anybody. You're stalling right now.
No, I do have somebody. Mr. Worldwide
No,
is
it's a
going
build-up.
to
It's gonna be
uplift us and bring us, but we need somebody who's an expert on bad days. So
I
could
want to
we
be very
have
clear
Daniel?
that Mr. Worldwide is here because he's been there, done that. He's already been through it.
Sure.
been around
How
the
about
world.
Daniel Powder? That's my final suggestion. The expert, the world's leading expert on bad days,
Yeah.
Daniel Powder.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's the one.
Perfect. Don't know who that is. Daniel
Cause
Powder.
you had a bad day, you think you want now, you sing a sad song just to turn it around. That's him.
one of my favorite songs.
I'm
just like-
imagining in in our corner, Daniel Powder and Pitbull are just trading off singing songs, and Hugh Grant has that response every time.
And he's been trying to just like get in every now and then. It's like 5 minutes of, and then he just is like, Miami.
Every 5 minutes, he's like, yes, we all live in it. Yes, no, you go.
That's,
Do you think they would give him? Do you think they would give him pointers on how to do a good job with his Oompa Loompa song in the new Wonka movie?
Ooh.
yeah. Well, dude, I tell you, can't stop it. Yeah. Well, that's a corner.
Yeah,
that's
If
a
you want
corner.
to, here's the thing. Here's what Two Chunk Shadowcast is doing for you.
Yeah.
If you are asking the question, why life so hard?
Mm.
We got something for you. We got
Mhm.
Hugh Grant.
Mm-hmm.
We got Pitbull.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Daniel Powder.
Yeah.
Right
That'll
there.
do it.
And they're, to be clear, they're not the reason why life's so hard. They're the
No.
they're the antidote for
They're the
life so hard.
solution to why life's so hard. And that's a corner.
A corner.
Not
Sponsored by-
Cornah.
Infinity FC Dallas. Partner with Two Chunks and a Hunk.
May I?
Do it then.
He may.
It's a Patronus. It's a Patronus. Put it in a bucket and stir it around. Get a little Patronus and put it on that Patronus. Welcome to Patron-Us.
Put it in a bucket and a stir it around. I love that.
Oh, boy.
Just grab a Patronus.
Just stir it
what
all
we're going to
around.
do today is we're going to make a Patronus
So is
pie.
this the gooey white Harry Potter animal, or is it us sharing Patron?
Yes. So this is
Okay.
Patron-Us. This is a little segment
I know,
I
Cornah
like
would like
to I like to call it Patron-Us. And what it means is we all have. So this is inspired by me reading Stormlight Archives. I've discovered that Kaladin is a character that Brando Sando broke into my brain and my heart and wrote specifically for me. And so I've just been thinking a lot over the past week or so about what are these other characters that are just the essence of me if I were to stand across the lake and my friend was being attacked by a bunch of Dementors? What would I cast when I cast Expecto Patronum? What character from fiction would come out? Who is written by our hearts? Do you have anybody like that? This isn't necessarily
Yeah.
favorite. This isn't
I
necessarily
do.
favorite.
100% I do.
Talk to me.
100% I do. My brother, my captain, my king, Aragorn. Are you kidding me, dude? That's the best possible situation for me. That's like may be my favorite character in fiction lately. It changes. You guys know how I am with like top fives and top faves and all that kind
That's
of
great
stuff.
though. It's nice.
Sure, you want to break it down a little bit?
Valuable.
Um,
So he's a bit of you, you're saying.
is
An
that what the
extension of
question
you?
was? Is that what the question was? Because if that's what we're asking, I did misunderstand.
Who was written for your heart?
Yeah. Okay.
Who was
Because I
written
think that's different than
specifically to connect with you.
who is a bit of you is to me. I'm like, yeah, the super sexy, powerful guy from Return of the King that everybody loves so much. That's me. No, I think there's just something super compelling about Aragorn as the like sort of reluctant underground, has the responsibility of being the king who was promised to return thrust upon him. And he, is not necessarily sure that he wants or needs or deserves that, but I don't know, man. I'm in 100%.
I hear that.
I like that.
I think for me, mine is Kyle Mooney's character from Brigsby Bear.
Ooh.
Just like sort of an overly sincere, not an ounce of irony in his bones, just wants to create and exist in a world with his favorite creation and make friends along the way. I think it's something that I just had a conversation with somebody yesterday about how, like, because I value humor so much in me and the people around me, sometimes it feels like sincerity in my life is punished with jokes. That, like, when sincerity comes out, the natural reaction of me, I'm including myself in the punishers, the natural reaction of me and everybody that I typically spend time with is to punish sincerity with like punchlines and dunking and all that stuff, which is funny. Damn. But also, I think that's why I love movies like Brigsby Bear and characters like, I can't remember his name all of a sudden, but characters like his, where it's like, there is no irony. If you dunked on him for being sincere, he would not understand it. He just wants to be sincere and true to himself. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, Jordan.
Thanks.
Sorry if I've ever dunked on you for being a nice guy.
It's okay. I've definitely done it to you guys. So it's, it's how it goes sometimes.
We did a survey maybe over a year ago of just kind of asking what people, like the listeners, felt our vibe was individually. And I am a 9 on the Enneagram. And so a lot of things fell into place of just being like, oh yeah, he's agreeable, kind, things like that. I would describe myself as that, but there is a wing, there is a bit of me. There's a few of my bones that I'm realizing that I've known for some time. Just love to talk ish. Just love. I want to get under your skin.
Yeah.
And motivate you to try and hit me. Sometimes I like the anger sometimes when it comes out, if it's mischievous. And so it's funny you bring up Brando Sando because our chunkies in the Discord called it as well. But to have a career, like your career is just to do that, is just to intentionally say what someone else is thinking because that's what's expected of you.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
And it's wit for sure. In this series, wit, I can't believe it. Like, people love him or hate him, but he just gets to say what he wants. The Way of Kings is just old laws, right? That some people follow. It's a bit archaic, but he's doing the absolute opposite. He's doing everything that would probably get him killed thousands of years before that. And he just gets to do it because the people with the most power say you can't. There's rules. You could kill him if you wanted to, but it's not going to be good for you. So just to be able to walk about the world with that like reckless abandon of just saying whatever I want, I would love that. I would love to be able to have a bit of that.
Yep. It's beautiful.
Truthfully.
It's beautiful. Powerful stuff. That's Patron-Us, ladies and gents.
Patron-Us.
Look under your seats. What's that? It's Patron. Drink up.
In order to very good cork noise. In order to counter Doja's typical saying of it is 10:12 a.m. and I would love to do this thing. It is 10:12 a.m. and I would love nothing more than to not drink Patron right now.
Yeah, I have the right amount of Patron in my mouth and tummy right now,
which is 0,
which is none, which is only the little bit that I put in my coffee every morning.
Sure, yeah. I just got to start my day with a little zip.
It's only about 6 ounces per cup of coffee.
Just a little zip. 6 ounces. 6 ounces of Patron, bump of Coke, glass of coffee.
That's how I'm so high energy all the time, guys.
That's how I would describe you. Doge, the guy who's just a bottomless pit of energy, that's the one. Yeah.
You're the guy who's always at a 10 on the energy scale.
That's good. We did lose Carter.
Yeah, he ran away. I'm not sure why.
Now, on the normal podcast, we would just let that slide. But here on the Shadowcast, we're just going to call attention to it.
Oh, all this Patron talk made you thirsty, huh?
Sorry, I was parched. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Here we go, baby. I knew that was coming.
Anyways, go on. Keep going.
Great joke for our audio podcast, dude.
I do special things just for my boys. just for my friends.
Just for the fellas. Oh, goodness gracious.
Wow. Hey, join Discord. Join the Two Chunks Discord, and I'll tell you what happened just now.
Yeah, it's a secret. Shh.
Yeah. Shh. No one can know. No one can know.
No one can know. Now, Doge, I know that you brought
that.
something. You brought something today that I'm excited to dip back into.
I did, but do we need to go to shout announcements? I'm not sure how long we've been recording. I don't usually I'm not the keeper of the time.
Now, why would you ask the guy that just tried to throw us to a bit? If it's not time for a bit.
Listen to me. Do not punish my sincerity. Okay?
Honestly, arguably the one thing I bring to the table here is that I am the captain of the boat.
It's time
That's
to
the
spin
only
the
thing I bring
wheel
to the table.
of
Thank you.
Cinemotion again, boys. But it's not
Cinemotion.
just cinema. I came up with this
It's
idea
cinema,
before
sugar, emotion. It's both.
Before we stopped being a movie podcast, I came up with this idea, and now that we're a nothing podcast, the name hasn't changed. It's the Wheel of Cinemotion. The way this game works is that I spin a wheel on pickerwheel.com containing 5 emotions, and I need you boys to tell me when the last time a piece of media made you feel whatever emotion it is that we land on. And last time we played this, we did basically the cast of Inside Out, your standard run-of-the-mill everyday emotions everybody's familiar with.
Lame ones, dude. All the lame
The
ones.
lame
And now that we did one of those
emotions-
emotions, we moved on to...
And now that we did one of those, I wanted to make it more interesting. These are emotions you may not have ever heard of. We ready to spin the wheel?
Yeah. How are we supposed to feel about this? Like, what are we talking about?
Carter's never felt it.
Wow, that was a loud little sound in my ears.
We didn't get
the
any of
wheel. You didn't get any of it. I'll put it in the episode.
Mm-mm.
The wheel landed on deja vu, which is an emotion that you guys know about, that you have felt. Is there a piece of media that you have experienced recently that caused you to feel deja vu?
Is deja vu an emotion?
It's listed on a website that says 10 odd emotions you may not have ever heard of. We can respin. We can re-land on something.
I'm okay
Deja
with
vu
whatever.
might
I'm
actually-
just trying to
I'm fine with
clarify.
That might actually be the easiest one on this list of like experiencing a piece of media and being like, I think maybe I've had this before. You know what I mean?
Recently, every Marvel movie.
That's fair.
Dang.
That's 100% fair.
In 2006, about that time, I'd gone to the movie theater because I thought it was the sequel. Have y'all seen Man on Fire?
Yeah.
Very good. I like
It's
it.
an awesome
I think
movie.
it's a good one. With a career like Denzel Washington's, really good movies can sometimes be forgotten because he's just done a lot of them.
Right.
And I was sitting there and, okay, check. Denzel is completely in control. We've mentioned that before. He kind of plays the same character all the time. He just knows more than you. There was a bombing. I was like, it's in New Orleans, though. I'm not totally sure how this is working. And then I realized it was deja vu. It was not a sequel to Man on Fire. Was it just so? It was just so bad. Was it just bad?
It wasn't good. I wouldn't say good. I wouldn't say good.
I will say a legitimate one though. My wife, and by the way, Suits on Netflix is
Okay.
the ratings are unbelievable. It's this. I have no idea how it's happening because it's well after Meghan became Princess Meghan Markle. But Suits, this kind of a touch soapy show, but it's funny. It kind of reminds me of a Shonda Rhimes show a little bit. Is way high on whatever the ratings are in terms of streaming, just out of nowhere. It's like if you went to Netflix, it's the number one, and it's streaming.
I know like
multiple
5 people
platforms.
watching Suits right now.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And so I'll catch pieces of it because Chelsea's going through it, and each of us, in a home that understands streaming content, you know, there's the things you do together and the things you do separately.
Of course.
And Suits
Sure.
is that
Yes.
for her. She had tons, there's like 9 seasons of it. She might have wrapped it up. But there's been a couple times that I've walked in, and there was one recently where I was watching this and I was like, this is either like an episode that's already happened, or it's that strange phenomenon when somewhere in the background you were in a room where this was actually playing, maybe even when it was new,
Yeah.
and you just remember images. You know what I'm talking about? That'll happen with enough content that we're soaking in with like shows and stuff that you're like, oh, I have seen this before. There's been movies on this podcast before where I was like, I think I've seen that, but I haven't. Or movies that I haven't seen that I thought I had.
Yeah.
And it was just that strange feeling. Have I ever shared it's not deja vu, but one of my favorite stories of all time, Jake Davis, who's kind of connected to Infinity FC, but not, when they were watching, I think it was Alias. Did I tell you about this?
I don't think I know this.
I don't
story.
think so.
Okay. It was Alias or a show like that. It was an Abrams vibe. It might have been Lost. But he had walked in from just doing some thrifting, and there's a bunch of people gathered around in college watching Alias or something like that. And he had just bought a boomerang, and he was
Yeah.
going to show everybody. He's like, hey, everybody, check this out. And the people on the screen go, a boomerang? And like look out. And then they're like look over there, because everyone was already looking to go see what Jake had, and he's standing there holding a boomerang. And they said everything in the world, time stopped. Like alternate universe, everybody was like, oh, what? I was like, guys, check it out. A boomerang? Just the timeline of that.
Oh, man.
Absolutely crazy.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Unreal. Anyways, 2006 Deja Vu. Not a bad
2006,
movie. Check it
going
out.
to see Deja Vu. For me, it had to
Going to
be
see
the
Deja Vu.
first. You going to see Deja Vu? It had to be like the first week of playing Tears of the Kingdom, because that was when it was still so new that I think everybody in the world who was playing Tears of the Kingdom, the newest, the Legend of Zelda game, for those of you not in the know, everybody in the world was still playing it and still fresh, and nobody really knew what the limitation was of the game. Nobody really knew, like, hey, here's the ceiling of what's possible. And I haven't felt that feeling of like, hey, this is a totally open-ended video game since probably I was in elementary school, and people were like, hey, I heard if you push XXBYZR and then move the stick in 3 circles, you get to play as Luigi. And it's like, what? Maybe that's possible. But there was just so many instances of being like, what is actually possible in this game? And the answer for Tears of the Kingdom is just about everything. Just about everything's possible in Tears of the Kingdom. But that
100%.
that sense of like I could see no bones or seams in the design of the game. It was just like, this
Right.
is completely open-ended and can be anything I want or need it to be.
I love that. I'm glad you clarified too that it was the Nintendo game and not the new album by Pillar.
Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah,
Because
totally.
those both were released on
Yeah.
the same day.
Well, and listening to that Pillar album, I felt like anything was possible. And that's why Pillar's my favorite band.
Wow. One time I met the bassist for Pillar and I set Frontline to my ringtone and had somebody call me and he didn't think it was funny. Let's go to shout announcements. Welcome to shout announcements. It's the part of the show where we give shout outs and make announcements, and it starts like that, unfortunately. Not a lot we can do about that. But
Usually the next thing that happens is something like this, where we'll say, I don't know, just like spitballing something like, you should tell your friends about our podcast. Now's a great jumping on
tell your
point
mom.
for the podcast. Moms love us. Friends love us. Now, moms who have friends,
That's a
weirdly, don't like us.
That's a no.
Either a mom or a friend. You have to choose, but tell at least one of them about our podcast. It's a great time to join us. It's a great time to join the revolution against the corpos. And we would love to add more people to our secret base where we broadcast live every week.
Please.
Come on in.
And that's shout announcements. And that's how we end it, unfortunately.
And And welcome in today, friends. Straight hot of the break, we've got some news out here. SWTBOE, that's Sportsing with the best of them. I'm John Sean Johnson, and I am here today to give you that hot, fresh sports news. Infinity FC has decided to partner with Two Chunks in a Hunk podcast. Hearing from the hosts earlier, they said, quote, "We're jazzed." Didn't know people still said that, but jazzed seems like a good thing. They've got to be feeling good having Infinity FC. With similar news, let's head out to Miami where they're making a run to get that championship. They got the new guy on the club who's one of the GOATs. We're going to hear from Jenny Weasley right now. Jenny, what's going on out there? How are they feeling about this championship matchup?
Well, the most interesting part about it, I think, from my perspective, is the fact that they were actually able to get Cristiano Ronaldo out from underneath the rock that he's been living underneath. He hasn't listened to a lot of the biggest new music recently. He hasn't missed out on a lot of really big releases. So I thought that maybe he might have been retired for a long time just from normal life. But actually, they were able to convince him to come out and start to play soccer football again, which I think is really interesting and really fun. They pay him a lot of money, which I think is really cool. And he's going to make a bunch of it from mostly soccer and also mostly from football mostly. And I think that he's probably going to do a pretty good job both with his kicking and his jumping.
And thank you so much, Jenny. You've always got the best intel. We really appreciate you. Have a fun second day of school. In other news, we're out in Arlington again where we have another big interception in practice today in Arlington. We've got Jackson Dokes out there talking with the coach. What are we going to do about the QB? Do you think he's ready for the season?
Well, lots of folks have been asking about QBs ready for the season. I think what you're going to realize quickly if you pay attention to anything going on here in Arlington with the Dallas Cowboys is that the QB is always ready for the season. He's not even ready for the season to not be the season. You know what I'm saying? If the season's always the season, then he's going to be ready for the season, regardless of how many interceptions, regardless of how many contraceptions, whatever septions you got, Inceptions, the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, he's going to be ready for the season.
Well, that's encouraging coming from you, Jackson, because you've usually got the beat, so we appreciate that. And you heard it here first. So there's contraception out in Arlington, and Cristiano Ronaldo has left his rock. That's John Sean Johnson with SWTBOE Sportsin' with the best of them. Very good, guys.
Another successful bit. Another successful bit.
Another successful piece of podcasting.
Yeah, I couldn't remember who it was, and I panicked.
One of the two, right? You were very close.
I couldn't remember, and I reached for the most socceriest name I could think of, and I just went for it.
And Doge, you got upset at me last time for giving Jordan an easy one.
With Arlington, yeah.
But we gave you Arlington. Obviously, it's the Dallas Cowboys in Arlington. Do you know who the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys is?
No, but I do know he's ready for the season.
He is so ready for the season. Dak Prescott.
Shepard?
Yeah.
Prescott. Dak Prescott.
Armchair quarterback
Very
expert.
Good. SWTBOE, man. Do we need to get some SWTBOE merch? It's too early.
It's too early. Let it take root. Let it take root in the hearts of men.
I like it.
I think that's more important.
That was good work.
That's great work. Those that first field
Infinity
reporter.
FC's making the headlines regardless, dude. It's everywhere.
That's true.
Again, go follow Infinity FC DTX.
I heard Cristiano
Instagram.
Ronaldo is going to play for them.
Possibly, dude.
That's what I heard.
It could happen.
On the transfer portal.
It could happen.
Is it legal
It
to
certainly could
start
happen.
harmless rumors?
No.
Yes.
You kidding?
Yes, it's legal.
It's legal. It is legal.
Yes, it's legal.
Oh, it is legal. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I heard Cristiano Ronaldo is about to play for Infinity FC.
Someone told me they heard Cristiano Ronaldo was
Completely
about to play
harmless.
for Infinity FC.
Dude, I heard that same thing.
It's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Can't
That's
believe it.
crazy. It would be a step down, though. He's just going to ride the bench. I don't know why he'd come over when they've already got such a stacked crew. I don't know what the point is.
That's true.
They have such a stacked crew.
Probably,
Guys, can I ask you
probably
just a question,
FIFA
like a live
2023 too.
Possibly.
That's been
We'll see.
that's
Maybe
been out for
2024
almost a
even.
year.
Probably FIFA
Possibly 2024.
2024 probably.
There
If you
go.
think about
Probably
it.
FIFA 2024.
Carter, yes, you can ask us a life question.
was having a conversation with some of the other friends that I have. Last night.
You have those?
I hate to break it to you on this episode.
Oh, that sucks.
Couple more. We've got a podcast.
Oh, we need to review your contract then. I'm pretty sure you have a non-compete in the friendship contract.
I do apologize for that. No, there is no competition in the end. But someone had said pretty good chance as a measurement, right? There was a pretty good chance blank. For you, if you were to give pretty good chance a percentage, what is that percentage for you? And let's use it in different contexts maybe. Does it change? The hope is it's semi-universal.
My knee-jerk reaction, pretty good chance is like 60%. It's like just above 50.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you go that fast, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get a ticket.
Yeah, I'd call it 60%.
Okay. I live in the 75 for pretty good chance.
Okay. It depends on the source. It depends on the source for me. You know what I mean? Because if it's and the context, if it's only called a pretty good source if it's from the Champagne region of France. I think it depends on the situation too. Because if you go that fast, you're pretty good chance you're going to get a ticket. I'm thinking it's an 85% chance I'm getting that ticket. I'm going the speed limit.
I'm not going that fast.
Whatever's the safest thing. But if somebody's like, there's a pretty good chance there's a new Star Wars movie going to come out, that's a 10%. You know what I mean? Like, I think it totally is situational, contextual.
That's crazy. There's 100% that a new Star Wars movie will come out sometime.
Right. Okay. There's a pretty good chance the new Star Wars movie will be this, and they've just announced it. That's a 10%. That's a 10%er for me.
That's not a pretty good chance.
Are likely and pretty good the same measurement for you?
I think likely is more.
Or is likely more?
Likely is more.
Man. So maybe likely is good chance. So there's something to be said about the pretty.
I think I'm realizing that I'm just mentally hedging my bets at all times.
Yeah, see?
So if somebody was like likely, I'd be like, yeah, but how likely though? Probably just
right.
Probably just a little likely.
They can't really mean that.
A little peeve I have is I don't think I'm going to make it. Or I don't think that's possible. It looks like we might not make it. There's always like a little bit of a hedge. And that person never shows up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. Might be a little late. Like you're going to be late. Right? Let's just say it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to be late.
We have a dear friend who we love very much who maintains that he never agrees to anything just in case something better pops up.
Yeah.
He always says, maybe.
Is he in a relationship?
Yeah. Married.
All right.
Not a lot of bet hedging there. Sorry,
Never
I just have to go
agrees to
back in
anything
time about
unless-
3 minutes and say that if it's not from the Champagne region of France, it is technically just sparkling opinions.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's cheaper too if it's not from the Champagne region most of the time.
Feels like the first time. Feels like the very first time. Welcome to First Loves. It's another little subsection in our beautiful podcast.
Fun.
And in this subsection, this is the part where we're going to have a little discussion about the very first things that drew us to a particular genre or a particular medium. Cool. And this week, I think we should talk about movies specifically. Is there a movie that like woke up your brain, activated your brain to like, okay, I've been missing out. Okay, I should
Missing out
dive
on
deeper
just-
into an appreciation of movies.
Oh, and well, there's one that opened up my brain. Annihilation was so strange
Oh, interesting.
that my brain was like, maybe we're not thinking as hard as we can. You know? It was like, man, there's more. There's definitely more thinking we can do.
Interesting.
Annihilation, I've been itching to watch it again. I've only seen it once because there's some visceral moments that have stuck with me, and I don't know if I want to pick off that scab just yet.
Sure.
Hey, that bear is the scariest thing I've ever seen in a movie.
That's what it is.
pretty
dude.
scary.
It's the
Yeah.
bear
Pretty scary.
Yeah.
that like screams with the souls of the lost.
Yeah.
Ew. Don't like that.
Yeah.
Terrifying. But I do want to watch that again because it definitely opened my mind. I think
you read the book?
Annihilation allowed for no.
It's
Book
great.
rips.
Yeah. Annihilation allowed for like it helped prime me for like Midsummer.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
it was just kind of like the places I don't normally go, but I realize I can go there. Just need to get in the gym, need to practice some of this.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was fun. It felt
Yeah.
stretching a bit.
Work out some of that brain meat.
And also comfortable not knowing exactly what's going on. I think that's also the point. I think a lot of times I want to know and have an answer for something. But in movies like that, it's like, I don't know. And I think that's okay. You know, you usually can find that out from talking to other people about it. But it's like, would love to hear your opinion. Any opinion is good in that situation. I love that.
It's interesting. Mine is actually, there's a poster for it above my head right now. Mine is Prisoners. I remember college, a good friend of ours over and over again, just recommending Prisoners. You got to watch Prisoners. You got to watch Prisoners. And finally we did, as I think our whole apartment sat down to watch it together. And I just remember having this moment of like realizing that an intense thriller could be so much more than just like chills, so much more than just like, ooh, that's crazy. But realizing that there could be like, you know, commentary on people and the nature of humans.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the paralyzing fear of a parent. I don't know. It was just between all that and just the performances. I feel like that movie marks a turning point in the way that I watch movies. And, you know, I've seen a lot of movies that I think are better than Prisoners. It's not that I think it's the best movie ever. It just feels like it was this pivot point for me where I was all of a sudden like, oh, there's more here than my beautiful little adolescent brain has ever really taken in. And I think it gave me a deeper appreciation for stuff I grew up watching. It's one of those movies, you ever have a movie that either boosts or ruins stuff you used to like, and it's almost kind of sad? You'll go back and watch something you used to think was good and be like, I actually don't think I think this is good anymore. That was one of those for me.
Yeah.
And
what did it ruin for you?
I think it ruined things that were like lesser thrillers. So things that I thought I liked, like, I don't know. I don't want to be mean, but like, you know, Taken was something that like I watched and was like, this is sick. And then watching Prisoners, I was like, oh, Taken is shallow. Like there's nothing here.
Yeah.
It's just an action movie. It's not a thriller and it's not a particularly great one. So, you know, that's not great for me. Or I think at that point, you know, I was 19, so I'm sure I thought Fight Club like hung the moon. And I think just realizing that there could be a dark, gritty thriller that isn't glorifying violence, but instead uses violence the way that a horror movie would to be terrifying. I don't know. I just think that it was this sort of like brain shift in the way that I both consume and appreciate movies. And it kicked off a long, I grew up loving movies, but I think Prisoners I can mark as like kicking off a discerning taste in movies that I don't think I had prior to that.
I love that you mentioned that because Prisoners is one that has me like an empathy for other people in a certain situation.
Yeah.
I have used Hugh Jackman's character's like paternal rage in that movie in examples of like social judgment theory, which is an interesting thing in comm theory that's like, everyone's coming from a different anchor and they've got different latitudes of acceptance that they'll take and some stuff that they'll reject in terms of scenarios. We usually talk about the death penalty. And so it's like if someone's accused of murder, what should be their punishment?
Right.
And we see where everybody's anchor is and what they're willing to accept and willing to reject. And then we start to come up with scenarios. And so it's like, what if someone this person killed your child? So now what are you willing to accept?
Right.
And just being really honest with yourself. It's like, well, about 10 minutes in, you know, it's rough. Yeah. It probably doesn't look the best, but going to feel what you feel. And yeah, it's a wild thing. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah. I think I would have to, so like I have always been a movie boy, but I think the like kind of the Mr. Grinch
of my movies in that I wouldn't touch it with the 49.5-foot pole was horror for a long time. Because I am a bit of I think a bit of a jumpy boy. I just didn't really that's a negative emotion, and I don't know why I would willingly decide, let me go ahead and feel a negative emotion when I'm 100% in control of what emotions I feel. But I do think that the first, because I mean, I watched like Alien and stuff like that. I was like, oh, it's a fun, it's kind of a horror movie, but more than that, it's just like a monster science fiction movie, whatever. I really think that Get Out was maybe the first movie that I was just like, this is a horror movie and I'm going to watch it because it looks interesting for me. And I wouldn't say that I'm a horror connoisseur now.
Sure.
But the thing that actually breaks my heart the most about being a Shadowcast right now is it means we might not get Chunktober this year, which is what I look forward to more than anything else. And it's that kind of, that new area of genre fiction to explore. And I have super loved being what horror movies have I missed over the last 30 years that I was too big of a weenie to watch.
Right.
It's been so much fun.
The Thing was a big one last year.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that movie, dude.
So me. I was I loved it so much.
Yeah. That was my first time too.
I just stayed away from it.
Yeah.
What a great movie. Yeah. I think there's something to be said for unlocking a whole genre that wasn't open to you before for whatever reason, and then realizing
it feels that I've collected enough stars to unlock a new part of the level. And it's look at all the stuff over here.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, you really should, especially since, we're all trying to be reading boys. When you clear up Brando Sando, you should read it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Read what is? Read what?
Go ahead and read it. Just read it then.
Well, I actually do enjoy reading a spooky book.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Reading a spooky book. Do you think reading a scary book is worse than watching a scary movie?
No.
I think if the movie version of that book doesn't already exist, yes.
Okay.
I think if you're reading, my dad read Dracula when he was a teenager.
Yes. Okay.
And there really hadn't been a good shot at it. And he said that's to this day the most terrifying book he's ever read because he had so much room for his imagination.
Mm-hmm.
I read Silence of the Lambs for the first time finally, but I could only picture, it was just man, I'm getting these extra tidbits, but I'm only picturing what already exists.
Sure.
Right.
The world that was already created there. So I think a book has way more ability to be scarier than a movie.
I agree.
But I think a movie existing already hurts it a little bit.
I think it also depends on subject matter, right? Something like it is really, honestly, hard to translate to screen. But if I read a book about a serial killer, would it be as scary as a slasher version of the book? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if you read Halloween, the book.
Right.
Probably not going to be as good as a movie. Yeah.
Right. But Annihilation, the book is... Well, Annihilation's an interesting example because the movie took it kind of a different direction and really did its own
way
thing
scarier.
With it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The book's just weird.
Interesting
book's just
question.
weird. Yep.
It is time for the scientific stuff scale, and that is, something we cooked up in the laboratory. Us and Dexter down there working hard, trying to make sure that the scientific cinema scale doesn't go to waste and is able to be used for things other than movies. And what we've discovered is it's excellent, and it's the scientific stuff scale, which goes a little like this. The best thing we can say about stuff is that for that stuff, we would in fact own it. Don't lend it.
Buy that poster.
After that, we would, buy it. That's the next best thing. After that is rent it, and then we would stream it, and then we would forget it, and then last, and the worst thing we could ever say about stuff is, and I think that's important because today we are going to be ranking. Ready for this? Not store bought. This is from a retail sorry. We're ranking ice creams, but not stuff you can buy in the freezer section.
Okay, from an ice cream shop or or
fast food.
Okay, fair.
Any ice cream product available, but it has to be a product that is made and handed to you, not bought from a freezer section.
Okay, don't take it out of a box. Yep.
Right. Let's take maybe we take Froyo off the table for this one. This is iced
Got to be the ice cream.
Okay.
Is what this is. No Froyo, no gelato.
I have my God Has Forsaken Us.
Okay.
I ventured once. And what's unfortunate is I don't remember where. I think it was Brahms.
Careful now.
Which has great ice cream and maybe comes up later.
All right.
But I ventured once to a flavor just based on color, to which I decided I will never do anything in this genre.
Okay.
And it's really trying to make something exotic taste like ice cream. So I'll forsake much of that idea, but bubblegum ice cream.
No.
That sounds horrible.
It was blue.
No.
It was bubblegum. And for something that you have in your mouth that your body is not used to swallowing this flavor, right? Except maybe, I don't know. You swallow, but it's not the gum itself. But just to eat bubblegum ice cream was disgusting. I didn't
that's
get
so challenging.
past one spoon of it and just threw it away. And I was a kid, not nearly as picky.
Yeah. My God Hath Forsaken Us is similar to yours, where it's like pseudo cheating, but it's ice cream. So how do you pick something that's really that bad? I am going to say any place that says they have ice cream and then serves you like just a chocolate or vanilla scoop in a bowl. Like any restaurant as a kid that you would go to and they'd be like, we got ice cream for the kiddos. What flavor do you want? Chocolate or vanilla? And it's just a generic scoop of chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream in a plastic bowl. That's a thumbs down from me every time. Every single time, that's a thumbs down from me. And I don't like it.
Yeah. It's probably from the frozen. It's probably
dryers.
Did the illegal to this game thing. Yeah.
It's probably dryers.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm having a hard time. I don't often venture into the world of iced cream because milk is too spicy for my poor little baby tummy. And so I'm not often an ice cream boy. I'm trying because
forsake ice cream altogether.
Yeah, forsake ice cream. I'm going to rank my other desserts. I think so. When we typically do these food rankings, I end up sort of at odds.
Here we go.
With the both
Victim
of you.
complex. Here we go. Oh, everybody hates me because I have bad taste. Go ahead.
There are certain fast food ice creams that are oily when I receive them. Do you know what I mean by this?
Not particularly.
Maybe it's Sonic, maybe it's McDonald's, but the one that's just like a cone with like the poop emoji shaped ice cream on top from the ice cream
That's
machine.
McDonald's.
There are times when it's quite oily and quite thin that I do not enjoy. It's like almost more lard
Really?
than ice cream. And it's not a favorite for me.
Yeah, I would forsake
Yeah,
that.
that sounds terrible.
So God hath forsaken that. And if it means that for me, McDonald's ice cream is the forsake it, then you know what? That's on brand.
I have my forget it might be a little bit spicy.
Okay. I hope
But
not.
it
It's
is
ice
something
cream.
that you can get. You can get it from that nostalgic tune that drives up and down your neighborhood. It is from the Ice Cream Man.
Okay, fair enough.
Anything that has the edible eyes,
It's always gum. It's disgusting.
SpongeBob,
Oh yeah, that's
Ninja
gross.
Turtles,
Yeah, those are nasty.
Pikachu, not worth it. Now I'm glad it's there. I think if I'm seeing an Ice Cream Man come by, or woman, and it is not, I don't see the picture of that option.
Yeah.
I'm feeling they're a touch less legitimate.
Sure.
But I do not partake.
Sure. You got to get a drumstick.
I
Yeah.
don't partake
Yeah.
because those eyes are like gumballs too. Gum is back again, right? But it's like, that's not chocolate. Why is that not chocolate?
It should
Is
be
not
chocolate.
Yeah,
chocolate?
it should be
Kids,
chocolate.
It's disgusting. It's if you're buying from an ice cream truck, it's got to be a drumstick or a cookie sandwich.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Those are the
Yep.
only two options. Or a bomb pop if you want to get crazy. Yeah. Forget it. I am putting all genres of rolled ice cream. The thing where they spread it all thin and then scrape it up into like a tube and then put it in the bowl. Never had one that wasn't hard enough to snap the spoon in half. Never have I been served a rolled ice cream that wasn't
texture-based. Forget
it. You can't even cut into it. It's like you take the flimsy plastic spoon they give you, and then you stab into it, and the spoon just bends backwards and gets the white stretchy plastic marks all over it. And there's no
It's just
point.
a block of ice at that point.
It's the most pointless. And in fact, I'm going to throw in there too, any ice cream place that specializes in CO2 where they like dump it into the bowl. And like there's a place in Dallas, I think it's called Creamistry, that does it. Hard as a rock. Absolutely hard as a rock. Couldn't even stick the spoon through it. No point. Disgusting. Get it out of my face. Forget it.
Yep. I'm going to join you on that. Forget it. That's tough. Those are so like the concept seems so cool. And it's like, wow, what a breaking new frontiers in ice cream. And then it's just, no, actually ice cream is not usually like this because it doesn't work. Because it's a bad way to eat ice cream.
The only reason it's not God Hath Forsaken Us is because it's interesting.
Though, isn't it? We're not giving any points here for it being like close to the namesake a little bit. Well, you got to have cream though. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's just a block of ice.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, can we stream it?
Yeah.
I'm streaming all Pretenders to the Throne. Everybody who's trying to be a DQ Blizzard but doesn't quite get there. So we're talking to Sonic
like a blast.
We're talking to McFlurry.
Okay.
Those genres. There will be one that stands out even above the DQ. By the way, I'm an ice cream with toppings guy almost exclusively. That's like my favorite way to enjoy. If you're going to give me just plain ice cream, plain soft serve, that's fine. But for the most part, if I'm getting ice cream, I want it to have toppings. So yeah, I do like a blast. I do, I can handle a McFlurry, but the whole time you're eating it, you're just wishing you had better versions of it. So yeah, that's my answer.
I'm going to give a stream it to all of the like the go where the counter's cold and then walk down the counter and look at all the bins of ice cream. Be like, which ice cream do I want? So that's your marble slab, your Cold Stones, your Brahms even too. Where it's just like, here's these big pails of ice cream that we have. You choose the one that you want, and then we'll make it the way you tell us to. That's great, but if I wanted to have to invest that much thought into how I'm going to eat my ice cream, I should just do it myself. I don't need to tell you how to make me this yummy dessert treat.
Yeah. I often find that those places seem really interesting, and then when you're handed the ice cream, it's like, oh, I guess this is fine.
I could have had this at home.
Yeah, it was good.
I could have had this at home. This is not better than at home.
Those places almost, they're a bit more social than the others in that like it feels like part of the experience is talking with everyone you're with about which one you chose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's braggy. It's braggy in a way I don't care for.
I was just given a chill of horror at the idea of walking into one of those places stag. Oh,
yeah, by yourself. Can you imagine?
Spine. The thought of walking into Cold Stone alone.
Cold and alone.
Even my timer hates it.
I stream. It's funny you bring up like basically an ice cream buffet of sorts. It's not a buffet. You can
now hang on.
I do stream. I stream what I'm going to call a Chinese buffet free soft serve.
Yeah. Ooh, yikes.
The soft serve machine at a buffet, at a Chinese buffet specifically, somehow that machine never changes no matter the town you're in, the restaurant you're at. And they're going to have a little bowl of sprinkles that you can just spoon on there. Mm-hmm. I just get ridiculous, dude. I get like about 6-year-old every time.
Yeah.
It is really not that good. The taste of it is not that good. But I think it's helpful for all of the General Tso's chicken I've had.
To get neutralized with some dairy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've gone over a touch to the Americana corner and got some fried jalapenos.
Sure.
Because it's what you do.
Yeah.
You're not there to be responsible.
No, you have to.
So then you just top it off with some
mistakes,
some free soft serve. But stream it. I'm always going to do it when it's there because it's quote unquote free.
Sure. I'm renting that genre of ice cream. I'm calling it I call it like icy crystal soft serve. It's any soft serve that like almost has a crunchiness to it because it's so icy.
I do like that.
That is Chinese buffets, Jason's Deli, and
I was about to say Jason's
Chick-fil-A.
Deli.
Chick-fil-A soft serve, their ice cream.
Yeah.
Exact same experience for me. And that's why they all fall into the rent category, because that is the one genre of soft serve that's worth my time. And it is ice-y, crispity, crunchity soft serve. And I love it so very. If you know what I'm talking about, like, do you get what I mean? It's like, it's not smooth. It's got like crystals
gritty
in it. Yeah. And I like
it's gritty. Yeah.
Always a cone,
man.
Never a bowl. Always a cone.
Man, I should have God hath forsaken us on that one, because that's not even going to make my list. I don't really care for that kind of ice cream all that much.
It's got like dense frozen drink vibes a little bit.
Yes.
My rent is the classic vanilla cone at McDonald's. I'm a fan. I'll do a vanilla cone at McDonald's if the machine is not broken.
Almost always is. Also, that sticker at the bottom of the cone.
That is the biggest lie.
You got to eat sticker residue if you want to eat that whole cone.
Means.
There's always residue from that
They
sticker.
just cleaned it. What makes you think I don't want ice cream past 10 p.m.?
Right.
What makes you think people shouldn't have ice cream past 10 p.m.? Why would you do this? Oh, sorry, it's broken. Okay, cool. I've never been more like, I'd never have Toretto'd out of a parking lot more than if somebody tells me that the ice cream machine is broken.
You're not my family.
That's all I'm there for. You're not my family. Just go.
Yeah.
I'm going to rent a Frosty. A Wendy's Frosty.
Sure.
Wendy's Frosty is a good time. Almost never as good of a time as I hope it is, though.
I can help you with this.
I've never gotten to the bottom of a Frosty and been like, I wish I had more of that.
That means it's a perfect amount.
It means it's a little too much. It's just never ever the like.
Oh, yeah.
I build it up, I think, maybe more than its value actually is.
I buy a Frosty. We're on to buy now.
Yeah.
I buy it because I discovered, and you might have already known this, and maybe I've even shared it on this podcast. I have been known to DoorDash, like be a dasher.
Mm-hmm.
And a great thing about that is, 95% of dashing is picking up fast food stuff. You get to see some things that you maybe didn't know before.
Interesting.
Maybe some secret menu items.
Learn some ideas.
Okay.
You can swirl chocolate and vanilla
Ooh.
at Wendy's.
Interesting.
You can ask for a chocolate and vanilla swirl.
Ooh.
Frosty. And they will do this. And that is a buy. I saw this and I said, as soon as I'm done, as soon as I've delivered this, I'm coming right back and I'm going to give this a shot.
Yeah.
And it was great. I'm usually chocolate Frosty only, but vanilla Frosty is good. They have a strawberry now too. Don't really mess with that. But the vanilla chocolate swirl chunkies, know that it exists. Ask anywhere and they'll do it for you.
I love vanilla as a base. If I'm going to put bits in my ice cream, I don't want
start with vanilla.
Pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vanilla as a base is excellent. I'm
going to buy.
Oh no, we are still on buy. We are still on buy.
We're still on buy.
We're all on buy.
Yeah. I'm going to buy a chocolate dipped cone from Dairy Queen.
Nice.
It's a great time. It's nothing fancy. It's not going to impress
you get nuts
anyone.
On it?
No.
Dude, it impresses me.
Just the
I
chocolate
don't understand
crispy.
the science behind it.
Just the chocolate crispy on the outside. It's so good every time. That is the one that every time I build it up in my mind and I'm like, dang, this is maybe even better than I anticipated it being.
Yeah. Those are pretty good.
Yes. It's just the perfect, not depth. It's just the perfect width of like the chocolate shell. Not too much, not too little. So good, dude.
Absolutely
Dilly
perfect.
Bar? Isn't that what it's called?
Well, that's a different thing.
That's a
Dilly
different
Bar is
thing.
a different thing. But a Dilly Bar smacks as well.
Dilly Bar is good, but you take that out of a bag.
I'm staying at Dairy Queen for my buy as well. And it's a DQ Blizzard.
Okay.
It is what all other fast food frozen ice cream treats want to be.
That's what I like about to
beaten only by one item, which I'm now realizing might be cheating because of the rules we said at the beginning, but we didn't explicitly. I'll buy the poster now and we can discuss if I accidentally cheated with this. I don't think I did, but it does technically have a different name. I'm not changing it though, so it doesn't matter if I cheated. But that's why I'm going first, so you've got time. But
yeah.
Own It, Don't Lend It, buy that poster. No contest for me. It's it's Culver's, it's Andy's. It's a frozen custard concrete with the toppings mixed in. Specifically from Andy's frozen custard, you can ask them to put melted chocolate chips.
Yep.
And then when they blend it, it creates a little spider web of crispy chocolate inside your concrete.
Yeah.
You do that and some Reese's and some vanilla custard. Blend that up, call it a day. Oh boy, that's a good time. Same thing at Culver's. They do the frozen custard concretes.
You probably grew up with the old Andes. There, Doge?
I did, yeah.
Tyler, isn't it?
It's just the pinnacle.
Sir.
It's the
yes,
pinnacle.
sir. Hey, listen to me very closely. Frozen custard with toppings mixed in is my own at the Linda by that poster as well.
Gotta be.
It's
ice
the
cream,
supreme
dude.
ice
I don't
cream
care what you
experience.
say. It's ice cream.
It's ice cream, but you also can't get a brain freeze from it.
Yeah, because it freezes at a lower temp.
Yep.
And in a good way, it is less consistent than like a cookie in terms of what you're going to get per bite and what the goodies are in there.
Yep.
Which is a good thing, in my opinion. That's not my poster, though, because I do want to specifically come back to the heart of Texas. That's what I like about Texas. Specifically M&M Blizzard from Dairy Queen. But I do...
Don't the M&Ms get hard?
some chocolate syrup in there. I do some chocolate syrup in there, so it's technically an M&M Blizzard in chocolate ice cream from Dairy Queen.
Gosh, that sounds
It's
so
too good.
That sounds so good.
If we were to create an ice cream right now and we called it 2 chunks and a hunk, Ben and Jerry's has said, we're going to work with you guys. You're a big deal now.
Cool.
What's our chunk and what's our hunk?
Okay. That can be our outro. Yeah.
We agree vanilla ice cream base, right?
Vanilla ice cream base.
Yeah. Jordan gets a chunk of this, Doze gets a chunk of that, and I get a hunk of that.
All right. I'm in.
We can do this.
I'm in.
All right.
Well, then in that case, thank you for listening. We love you so much. Welcome to the Shadowcast. Join in. Support the WGA and SAG-AFTRA, not by listening to us. Good heavens, no. Do that anyway.
Not by that.
Support them monetarily through the Creator Fund. Creator Fund? What's it called?
Entertainment Community Fund.
Can we link that in our show notes for people that are using apps? You can find that there.
Yep.
You can support them like that. Be like The Rock. Put your money where your mouth is. We're all jokes. Obviously, listening to us does nothing to support them other than standing in solidarity because we love them very much. But we do appreciate you listening because we love you as well. And we eagerly await the day when we can feel good morally about talking about new release movies again. But until that day, I am Jordan Wonders, and I'm putting pretzel pieces. I'm putting little crispy salted pretzel pieces into our ice cream. This is like we're doing like a Ben and Jerry's flavor here almost, where we like
Yeah.
We are,
stuff. Yeah,
Called 2 chunks and a hunk. Yeah.
2 chunks and a hunk. The ice cream. I'm Doge, and the chunk that I'm depositing into this ice cream. I didn't like the way that sounded.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm Doge, and the chunk that I am selecting for this ice cream is chunks of chocolate, dark chocolate covered graham cracker. How we feel so far?
I've never felt more.
How we feel so far? I'm in so far.
We got double crunch. We got a little chocolate. We got a little salty. We got a little sweet. Not hurting my feelings so far.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
Because we
Bubblegum.
just happen to be different. I think 2 chunks continues to deliver things that people are like, man, I didn't know I've needed this all along. These 2 things have existed. They've never come together. And now it's a completely new spin. So with our pretzel bits, with our dark chocolate covered graham cracker, we're going to do a little bit of like a hole inside a smaller hole situation. We're gonna Benoit Blanc this, and I'm gonna put a hunk of Snicker bar ice cream, an ice cream Snicker bar
In the middle.
in
It's a Snickers core.
Yeah.
with a Snickers core. Dude.
They got to go through the Snickers
But it's not like a Snicker
core.
bar. It's an ice cream Snicker bar. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stop and tell me if this is anything. Is this anything? Tell me if this is anything.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Ice cream with Gardetto's bagel chips in it. Little chunks of it. Is this anything?
It seems like a
No.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Too salty.
Well, that's not a thing. That's a bad excuse.
No, I don't think it works.
You gotta have a different reason than too salty. Salty, sweet are born to go together.
Bagel, though.
But bagel, too bagel. How's
savory.
too bagel? Too savory.
Too savory.
It's bagel chip. Now that I can hear because they're a little garlicky. Maybe we take
Right.
the garlic out. We
See?
just do a sea salt bagel chip. So crunchy.
do like some crunch, dude. If I could find a way to get keep the texture of Lay's potato chips and put them in ice cream.
One of the Ben and Jerry's is chocolate covered potato
I would
chips
do that.
in the ice cream.
Have y'all had chocolate
What's
covered
that one
potato
called?
chips?
Yes, delicious.
Yes.
Them guys rip. Those are so good.
They're so good. And that, what do you do with that? Is that, how do we get
That's how you
that?
That's how you
That's
get clicks.